Hi there, welcome to Get Gardening. It is now the second week of March and today is supposed to be a really beautiful day, so I'm hopeful to get a ton of gardening in outside today, but I'm actually starting in my garage, and that's because it's extremely windy outside right now, but I do have some work that I need to do in here. I am surrounded by 8 buckets of debris from my walkway garden alone, and it just shows you how much debris I end up getting from one of my gardens. I still have all the other gardens that I need to do, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn this debris into mulch for the health of my garden and talk to you about why I like mulching so much. So come along and let's see how I do this. So this is what my setup looks like right about now. I first have gone through my garden, and on the left you can see I collect buckets or boxes full of dry debris. That's really important. Wet stuff doesn't really go through this mulcher very well. I've already ran one bucket through. I've got this Sunjo mulcher. It was a gift from my parents. If you want to pick one up, you can get them from Amazon. They run at least 100, probably a little bit more if you want a better one. But for about 100 you get a good mulcher, and it's a shredder. I think mulching is probably one of the best things that you can do for the health of your garden. It suppresses the weeds, it helps with moisture retention, it adds nutrients to the soil, that is if you're using correct organic mulch. A lot of the dyed mulch that you see, red or black or brown, they tend to be pellets that are just ground up, and those can actually remove nutrients from your soil. So getting a good mulch is really important, and it mimics what happens in nature, where leaves fall down and they slowly break down over time. It's a really good solution to garden waste as well. So I grow a lot of gardens, and my garden by the end of winter has a ton of waste that needs to be cleaned up. So by mulching it, it's a really good way to not get rid of that, but then put it back into my garden. All this plant has grown up, taken nutrients from the soil, so it's time to put some of it back into the ground. What you can do is mulch it, and then you could make a pile and compost it, and it will break down so much easier than if you were just to take the debris and make your own compost pile that way. It'll work, but it's quicker and easier if you do it with this mulcher. But what I tend to do is I take the dry debris and I like to mulch the areas of my garden that I want to suppress the weeds at this time of the year. So for example, I'm going to be mulching my yew hedging that I put because I don't want weeds there. Where I do not mulch at this time of the year is places in my garden where I want self-seeders, like my walkway garden. I love letting that self-seed with verbena, with fennel, different kinds of plants, that if you mulch too early in certain parts of your garden, you're going to suppress the good things as well as the bad. So when I'm mulching, I'm going to make sure that I'm just mulching the places where I do not want any self-seeders right now. And then later in the spring, when you can tell what's coming up and all your self-seeders have come, then you can mulch the regular beds. At least that's what I would recommend. So let me go ahead and show you how I use this machine. It's a little loud, so I might only run it once, maybe not even. So let's see. So I tried running it through here, but it's really noisy. I'll just turn it on quickly so you can see the noise level. It's not ridiculously loud. It's not going to like damage your ears or whatnot, but it's kind of too loud for a video. So I mean, it kind of sounds like a really strong vacuum cleaner. I don't know. I use these 3M earmuffs when I'm using it too, just to protect my ears. I got pretty bad ears to begin with, so I don't need to lose more hearing. It comes with one of these paddles that when you're putting the debris in, it helps you to push it through, but I find that this is I don't know, a piece of junk. It doesn't really help at all. What I tend to do is I tend to get a stalk of something that's really strong, like a sunflower, so I can push the stuff through without putting my hand through there, because that's there to protect your hand. But this way it helps push some of the things down through here. It does grind things up to, I don't know, about a little bigger than a pencil. It can handle things this size too. Let me take you and show you what the actual mulch comes and looks like. The quality of it depends on how thick some of it is. So the thinner stuff tends to go through it not as well as the thicker stuff. And what I mean by that is if it's really thin, it might kind of make strings like this, but still it's a big difference than what it was to begin with. So this is something that looks like a mulch. You can see this is something that I can put on my hedge area and help suppress the weeds. So I'll go clear an area over by my hedges and I'll show you what it looks like down. It really does look like mulch that you would buy in a bag. It's maybe a little lighter color, it depends on the stuff that you're shredding up, but I think it saves me some money. It does so many things for my garden. I really would recommend getting one of these if you are at all inclined to do so. So I'll shred some more and then I'll take a bucket worth over and show you how I'll mulch with it. Alright, so you can see I've made some more mulch from my garden debris. What I do is I lightly weed the area that I'm going to be working in. I've got my yew hedges here that I put around my walkway garden, and this is where I want to use this mulch. So what I'm going to do is just I lightly weeded it and then I put it on thick. The thicker the better, and just kind of spread it around your plants. You'll notice there's not a ton of it after a while, so good thing I've got more gardens that I need to clean, because it does reduce very much actually. So from a big bucket full of debris it goes down to what did I do? About 2 bushes there. So I've got a ton more already in buckets ready to go. You can take a quick look. You can see the grasses over there that need to be done. There's grass in the back there that needs to be done. So basically there's just a ton of things that I can go ahead and mulch. So I hope you liked this little tutorial on how I make mulch, and I hope you guys are able to get out there and get gardening. Thanks so much for watching.